back. Real Housewives of Potomac. The ladies have departed, but I still have the lovely Brynee with me.
Yes, hi.
Yes. So now we get a one-on-one.
Right.
Yes. So we both are in a sorority.
Yes.
Alpha Kappa Alpha. We're gonna divert from the show and talk real life.
Okay.
When we met, where did we meet? At a cookout, right?
At a party. Was it a fight party or something? It was an evening event.
Yeah. And it was funny.
Lots of champagne. Someone's birthday.
Yes. And it's so funny because champagne is the drink for Potomac.
Yes, girl, yes.
But we just had so much fun.
Uh-huh.
And I think that had to be 3 years ago, maybe?
It was. It had to be at least 3, maybe even a little longer than that.
Yeah. But I just was like, when I saw you on the show, I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud. Because when we talked AKA, we talked about life. And I was just like, when you meet those genuine people,
right,
you want to keep in touch, you know?
Absolutely.
So I was just like, I had a ball. I really did.
And I did too. And I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Do this, girl. Do it.
But it's hard with being a black woman.
Right.
You struggle. You have to, prove your point. You have to go in places and demand respect.
Right.
Every job I've gone to, and I'm not going to say the first job I ever had, but it was an all-white publication.
Right.
And it was just hard. They always assumed, oh, you went to Howard, right? Oh, you're the intern, right? I still I'm the intern, and I'm 30-something.
Right.
To me, it's like, you're living in a not even a white man's world. You're living in a man's world.
Absolutely.
It's just, tell me your experiences. Did you ever have to feel like you have to prove yourself?
Well, a lot. But, I went to Howard Law School.
Okay.
And so I went to Bryn Mawr undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
And so there it was the same kind of situation where, oh, you're here because they had to fill a quota.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And the thing is, no, they didn't get enough federal funding to require a quota.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here because I'm probably a little better than you are.
Right.
You see?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's a process, but it builds you up and it keeps you strong and keeps you focused so that you can encounter what life throws at you, because life's going to throw something at you. It's inevitable. So you just have to be prepared for it.
It's so hard, but at Bryn Mawr,
yes,
you pledged AKA, right?
Well, yes, it was Philadelphia City chapter.
Yes.
So it was based at the University of Pennsylvania.
So that was Gamma Epsilon,
Gamma
right?
Epsilon,
Yes.
I was bachelor's. All that good
I was
stuff.
too. Yes. So we were president of our chapter. See how we do girl power. We've always been on, and we were like, I'm going to do this. I'm holding it down. Because I was a Delta Iota.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
right.
Cheney University of Pennsylvania.
And we love our local sorors.
Yes.
We supported each other. And I hope we still do. I hope our chapters are still loving each other. Because that was beautiful.
We talked to Gamma Epsilon a lot, and then we had Delta Mu,
right,
which was the undergrad chapter at Temple University. Temple. We all come together and we do fun things.
Right.
I haven't been back in probably 4 years or so.
Okay.
Now I know with some schools people don't really engage in homecoming. Do you go back for homecoming?
Well, no, it's more like Penn Relays.
Penn Relays, that's right.
Philly. Because at University of Pennsylvania, that is the time when everyone kind of comes back for homecoming. Homecoming was cool, but you get to see more of your people there.
Penn Relays. Yeah.
And then you don't just see people at Penn, you see everybody. So we get to see Delta Iota, Delta Mu, the whole crew. The road trip.
Yes. And the road trip used to be like forever because it was in the sticks. It was like, oh my God, like 3 hours, but it felt like eternity.
Yes.
But it was always fun. I just love I loved my whole college life, the whole pledging. I loved the whole sorority life, and that was, pre-professional life, like pre-media, pre-TV, pre-radio.
Right.
Now that you've gone on the show, how do you think your life has changed?
I think that now it's interesting because I've received a lot of positive interaction from people. People kind of know me on the street, so they'll say, hey, are you Brynee? Or, hey, you look familiar. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because you want to say, well, I'm from this area. And then you're like, oh, maybe it's a show.
Yeah.
But you don't want to say maybe it's a show. And they're like, girl, no, I don't watch that.
Right. You don't want to be
so
like.
You're just like, oh, okay, well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Brynee. And you just talk. But it's really been interesting because I think that as a result of the show, I was able to really convey a lot of very, difficult obstacles that I've had to encounter. And it's been wonderful because I've received so much positive feedback and support. And what I've also learned is that so many people go through a lot of things, and sometimes they just hide in shame, or they deal with it in such a quiet, private place that it never gets resolved. And so I think the reason why I approach the show the way that I do is because I'm like, look, in life, you're going to go through it.
Yes.
And right now, upsetting each other for stupid, petty reasons just to cause confusion is not working here. Not as long as I'm present, because I'm not going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where there are a lot of, wonderful women. We have a lot to offer. Let's be good. Let's be cool. You know?
Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, I met Sharice a long time ago.
Yes.
And she probably does not even remember this, but my line sister's uncle is Eddie Jordan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and she's from Jersey.
Okay,
so she would come down and visit me in Maryland. She's like, let's drive to Eddie's house.
Right.
I had to tell you this story. It's so funny.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, let's drive to Eddie's house. And I'm like, okay. Now, I lived in Upper Marlboro.
Oh, that's where
And
I was.
she said-
That's where I grew up. Upper Marlboro.
So she said, well, he lives in this place called Potomac, from Jersey.
right.
She didn't know.
Yeah,
I
okay,
said,
whatever.
okay, yeah, it's not far.
go,
It's like,
right.
let's go. Had my dad's truck, and I have never really driven a truck, an SUV, like a huge Escalade.
Right.
So I'm driving. I get into Eddie's driveway. Now he has this, in Potomac,
Right.
you guys have this long, fancy driveway.
Some houses.
Yeah, some houses. But he had this gate decoder where you got to
Right.
punch in the code.
Right.
So I was like, it was too dark for me to actually, I don't know why I didn't go for it. Now that I think back, I went backward. I tried to back in so I could park on the side, because she's like,
Oh, girl, you backed into the
I
gate.
backed into
Into
the,
the-
I backed
oh.
into the decoder. There was this huge, it was so funny because she said, well, Sharice is going to see you. Sharice is, she's mean. She's mean.
Oh, no.
She did not like Sharice. She said, she's mean. I'm like, so she said, well, just back in and we'll park on the side, because Eddie, Eddie will come around front.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay.
Uh-huh.
What, 18 years old? I'm like, okay. I backed into his decoder.
Oh, no.
There was a huge dent in my dad's truck.
Oh, I know your father was
Oh
through.
my God.
Was
I
through.
was through. And I was like, call Eddie, tell him to come outside. Because now what am I supposed to do? I need to
Right.
fix this.
Right.
So I
Right.
felt like
Right.
that movie with Steve Harvey. It's like you try to fix the car,
Right.
fix the truck before
Right.
your parent get home.
Oh, right. Well, right.
Wait, with Christina Milian?
Right.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. So a huge dent.
Right.
Like I said, Sharice, again, she wasn't friendly. She came out, but it was a traumatic experience for me, because I was a
Right.
teenager and I had already
Aw.
crashed my dad's truck just trying to say hey to Eddie, because she was staying there for the weekend.
Okay.
So it was just a mess, and I'm like, that had to be 10 years ago.
Bless your heart.
So,
That's horrible.
yeah.
So when you say she wasn't friendly, I mean, what do you mean? She was just
Um,
non.
The way she comes off on the show, I was telling people, I said I've met her before. The way she comes off on the show is the way she is. It's like, hello, hi. Like, it's never like a warm, amiable, approachable feeling. You're scared to give her a hug. You're scared to say hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so sad, because the Sharice I know is so different.
Really?
And I didn't meet her as a good friend or as a friend of a friend. I was referred to her by a mutual friend, another soror of ours.
Okay.
Who and I wound up representing Behind the Bench, the NBA Wives Association, when she was president. And they had a matter that needed some attention, so I went over to her home and met with her, and she was very pleasant. And I was very professional. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, hey, girl.
Yeah.
It was just, very professional, and we talked and we interacted, and it was nice. And, we started speaking a lot just because of the requirements for representation. And then suddenly we just became really cool. She invited us to a couple of events, and then we just became really cool. And so it's so funny, because watching the show, the first couple of episodes, or the first few episodes, I was saddened to see the way that she was portrayed, because I felt like that really wasn't her personality. However, it's interesting that you're saying
Yeah,
that.
I was like, that was Sharice to the T, and I'm like, oh my
I
God.
don't think that. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
I
I
know.
don't think that. But anyway,
We'll have to have it 10 years later. We'll have to, 'cause she
Right.
probably won't even
We'll get her
remember.
back together,
We'll be
'cause
like, I'll
she's-
be like, hi.
she's what I knew about her even before I really started working with her is that she's very supportive of women. She's all about girl power, and she's also about, helping to build businesses, Black businesses, women businesses, even, everybody's business, but she's just that's what I got from her. So
Really?
gosh, we have to do a do-over. Can we do a do-over?
Yes, we have. I
do a
promise
do-over.
we'll have to do a do-over. But I won't cook crabs at her house.
Girl,
I promise. I will not steam crabs at Sharice's house.
Let me tell you something.
I can't even steam them, but the thought of that, I was like, oh, Jesus. And I forgot to bring that up with Giselle. I'm like, wow, really?
Listen, production is so interesting.
Yes.
How things go. And it's funny because that night she had a fabulous catered affair. There were bartenders there. There were people passing hors d'oeuvres. There was a buffet that was fabulous with a lot of different foods and options and whatever. And there was all this feedback like, how you going to be so fabulous cooking crabs? What are you doing cooking crabs? And I think that was just a part of the, storyline, which was very interesting, and it was fun and funny. But yeah. I've never cooked crabs over at Sharice's.
Yeah, ever.
And we eat crabs often.
Ever.
At Sharice's.
Right. And it's funny, when I growing up, my family was from, my grandfather lives in the country area in Charles County.
Oh, you're from Maryland. So you're Maryland.
Maryland all day.
So wait a minute. You grew up in Maryland too?
Yes.
Where did you go
Upper
to high school?
Marlboro. I went to Largo.
I went to Oxon Hill. Girl, yes.
You know what?
PG County.
Yes,
girl.
PG
Before
County
it was
all the way.
Prince George's
Yes,
County.
it was
We're
just
County
PG.
girls. Yes.
Yes.
There it is.
So how did you migrate to Potomac?
So I went, lived in Upper Marlboro, lived in Marlton back in the day.
Oh my God, you're right around the corner from me.
Right on North Marlton
Oh
Avenue.
my goodness, yes.
That's where I was from the time I came home from the hospital until the time I left for college. Love, love, love Prince George's County. There is nothing like that county.
Nothing.
And I still call it my county because that's where I spent so much, so many
days.
critical years. And I'm so proud of that county. I'm so proud of the people in that county. Anyway.
Yes.
Went to
It's
Oxon
home.
Hill. It is home.
It's
And
home.
when you just go there, I mean, even just going back, I still have a lot of friends and family there. We go back often, and it's just so good to see all the beautiful development that's going.
Yes.
My kids do cheer. I know I'm digressing for a
No,
minute, but
that's
I was
fine.
at the National Harbor, and I'm just so proud. And Rashawn Baker is like my big brother.
You know he's a Q.
I know he's a Q, and
Okay.
his wife is a Delta.
Oh, boo.
But I know. But I love Sis anyway.
Okay.
And
We'll give her a
he's
pass.
family. We're gonna give her a pass because some of
Some
our
of them go
best
the wrong
friends
way.
are-
Exactly.
Some of our best friends are
and they just
Deltas.
don't know. They do it because their mother did it, but it's okay.
That's it. But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you something. Going to a majority institution, honey, supporting each other is what we did. I
Yes.
don't care what you were, what you did, how you did it. Do what you do, girl.
Yes.
And we love you.
And we
we're gonna
love it, and
support
we
you.
love
we
it.
went to
We
each
love it.
other's events. So it's weird especially going to law school at Howard, because it was funny because like, oh no, that's so and so. She's done, and I'm like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We support each other. Life is too hard.
Life is too
Life is too
hard.
hard.
You already get labeled.
Girl, yes. So back to Upper Marlboro.
Yes.
I think that growing up there, I think actually I just lost my train of thought. What in the hell were we talking about?
Oh my God, hilarious. Okay, we'll pedal back.
Pedal back.
We talking about Rashawn and his Delta wife. That's what threw us so sideways.
That's probably took me to the side.
Yeah.
I love both of them, and I'm so happy for Rashawn. I'm so happy about what he's doing for Prince George's County, and I really think that Prince George's County is definitely one of the most phenomenal places to grow up, especially as a Black woman. I feel like it gives you the level of confidence to know that you can accomplish anything. It gives you the level of family to understand that people are there supporting you even if you fall down, and it also gives you a level of pride knowing that you get to see people around you, a lot of people who look like you, who are doing dynamic things, and just looking at even the National Harbor. It's so beautiful, and it's coming along so well, and I'm just so excited for all of the resources that are going to continue to flow into that county.
I live about 5 minutes away from there.
I love it.
I love it.
So now you asked me, I do backpedaling. I remember your question. You asked me how I wound up in Potomac.
Yes.
So I went away to college, and when I came back to from college, my youngest sister, had migrated from Oxon Hill. There was a devastating incident where a child was shot, and it was a very random, horrible experience. It was an isolated experience, but my mother was completely traumatized. So she took my sister out of Oxon Hill, put her in Douglas for the rest of the year, Frederick Douglass, which was our home school, and then she went to Sidwell Friends. And so because she was in Sidwell Friends, we moved over there. We kept the house in Upper Marlboro, but Upper Marlboro is a little bit of a hike for what I was
doing.
Because I was working in the city, and then I went to law school at Howard. So I stayed in McLean Gardens, where we lived in D.C., for a little while, and then I got married.
So after Oxon Hill, she went to Douglas and then Sidwell Friends?
Sidwell Friends.
Okay.
Graduated around the time Chelsea Clinton was there, and little Al Gore. Graduated, and then I went on to law school. I got married. We lived in D.C. for a while, and then we lived in Silver Spring.
Okay.
And when we had our second child, we moved to Silver Spring with the second child. Then we moved to Potomac when we had the twins.
Okay.
And a few years after, we divorced.
I was going to ask you now, are you married now?
I'm not married.
A lot of the housewives are not married.
No.
Except Ashleigh.
Been there, done that, got the T-shirt and the soundtrack.
T-shirt and soundtrack, I love it.
T-shirt and soundtrack. But I have 4 lovely, wonderful, amazing daughters. And, I'm in a great relationship now.
I love it. Oh, hey.
Hey.
It should be girlfriends of Potomac. It's never, or girlfriends of Atlanta. It's never anybody that's married. It's always like one married couple. And
let me
that's
see. Ashleigh's married. Karen's married.
She is married.
Sharice is technically married.
She's
married.
She is. You're absolutely right. But okay. I'm waiting to see what the next season will be like.
What will next season?
Yes, because Eddie is, because I have met Eddie a dozen times.
Yes.
He is very, very private. He's always been private, so I know he was not happy about this.
No, I think that Eddie is a wonderful person.
He is so sweet,
a wonderful guy. I really, really like Eddie. I love the Jordan family. All of them. They're just wonderful people. And it's very relationships, marriage at its best is hard work.
Thank you.
So
to have a microscope on it,
it's a lot.
Is even harder.
It's a lot, but I have faith in them. I do. I'm prayerful that it'll all work out.
Me too. When Sharice revealed that her and Eddie, she was unhappy, it was devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew that because I kind of knew, like I said, I met them before.
Right.
But since he spends so much time in New Jersey and she spends so much time in Maryland, and the kids are not young, they're like, teenagers.
Right.
You kind of wonder, like, how does this work? You're never home anymore.
Well, I know a lot of times they do go up there, especially during the seasons. They were going up, every couple of weeks or whatever. They would go up. Because
he coaches for Rutgers now, right?
Well, he did. I don't think he's there anymore.
Okay.
But he, so they would make the trip and do what they needed to do. But, I've known Sharice for a long time, and Eddie.
Yes.
And I was with them since when he was with the Wizards, as head coach for the Wizards. And, this was their foundation. And then when Eddie went to the Lakers, remember he was assistant coach of the Lakers, it was a hard decision, but before the Lakers, he went to Philly.
Yes.
But that was just for Philly. A year.
That was for,
But remember, Sharice and the kids all moved, packed, changed schools, changed lives, bought a house, moved up there so that they could be there with him. And it was just a year. And then the next year was in L.A. And so it's almost mean and cruel to kids, especially in high school.
Especially in high school
when they're trying to kind of find themselves.
Like when your sister, when your sister 3 different high schools in 4 years, like, oh gosh.
Exactly. It's a
hard.
lot. It's a lot. I mean, for her, it works because she's personality of the world. So, it worked out for my sister. But in reference to the kids, I mean, think about it. To go from, if you're in high school, your freshman year is in one place, your sophomore year is in another place, you really don't have a foundation. And so I think they made a very mature decision to keep the kids in one place and kind of make the sacrifice, for the marriage. But I guess, in any relationship, there's compromise and sacrifice.
Yeah. It's so upsetting, and you can't wait to see the next season because you're like, oh my God, are they going to stay together? People who like me and you who know, like, they've been doing this for years, and it's just like, when will someone throw in the towel?
I think one of the things that's interesting is that my reality may be different than his reality or her reality or her reality, and I think that that's one of the things. I mean, getting to kind of have a spotlight on people's lives, you get to see different ways that people operate, different ways that people live, and sometimes it's not, traditional, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it might work for you. And, sometimes it could be a little different. But at the end of the day, everybody does it the way they need to do it. And I think, it would be great. There's so much more to Charisse than her marriage. I mean,
Yes.
and it'd be great to kind of see her.
Yeah.
Did you see her at the beach where she was getting it in?
Oh my God, hilarious.
I mean, it was just a whole different place, a different person. I'm sure you saw.
Yeah, because it's like, again, the one that I met is not like I was, and then you have to think I was a teenager. So
Right.
Oh
so you're already like a little intimidated. I done bumped into your thing. I'm mad because my dad's I'm about to get in trouble. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it was just a big mess. I was
Right.
like, oh my God. But Eddie was always super cool. Even at Wizards games, he's like, hey, come on in. Like
super cool.
Okay.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. So I just, like you said, but production, I had a world of production. I worked in production, so I get it. Mm-hmm. Like, but to me, it was like she was painted like the person that she seems like to everybody. If that makes sense.
I hear you. That's interesting.
Like
That's
Giselle.
very interesting.
Like I had met Giselle before. Very fun, very amiable, very like, I say what I want. That's how she's portrayed on television.
That's Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
What you see with Giselle is what you get. Giselle is very smart, and that's Giselle.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting
You're
getting real. I mean, it's funny because they're like, oh, these women are phony and they're fake. No,
I can speak to that, viewers. Like I know a lot of them. I don't know. I've never met Carrie. Never seen her in life. Neither have I met Katie.
Okay.
I feel like I've met Ashleigh before.
Right.
I feel like we turned up at the same party before.
Okay. You probably did. Get it, Ash.
But I'm like, these women are just how they are in person, in real life, as they are on television.
And I think that's what translates. I think that's what it is. I mean, it's funny. The one thing I will say is it's hard watching yourself on television.
Yes.
Because that was not anything I ever did.
Yes.
And so to see myself, and I'm like.
Yeah. You see that? You're like, ooh, how should I pose next time?
No, in my face, I'm looking crazy. Like a lot of times I'm looking when I'm talking, I'm like, and I don't realize that my face give all that. But my face gives it, and it is what it is. And so now I'm like, okay, next time I'll have to be more mindful when I'm being interviewed. Like, I'm like, okay, now how am I looking? Am I looking crazy? Am I talking? But, it's all just what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's very, reality TV is very transparent.
It is.
People act like, oh, it's scripted. It is to a certain extent, right? Because you have to, plan these trips. Like, for example, Bethany Beach.
Right.
That was a planned trip. Right. Like, I feel like, that's in a script to say, okay, you guys need to take a trip.
Right.
Because I feel like Atlanta those women, they go everywhere, every second episode.
Well, it's interesting because, with first seasons, they're, it's a trial.
It's a trial.
And they don't know. So they don't put a lot into production. I mean, they put a lot, but it's just not the same kind of resources they put in a second season or what have you. So we didn't know whether we would be going anywhere. And of course, as a friend, I didn't know. It's interesting. There were 10 episodes and I'm on 8 of them.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of interesting. And it's funny because you just don't know what's going to come out. So we knew that we wanted to go somewhere because it'd be nice to all be isolated and kind of figure some things out and kind of get it in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you just never know what's going to happen.
What's going to air.
So Ashleigh, of course, knew because it was her home
Yes.
and she approved it. But in reference to the rest of us, we didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing. So when we were in Karen's boat trip ride, that's when we all found out we were going to Ashleigh's beach house.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was funny because at first some of the women were like, Bethany Beach.
Yeah, I know. Because you heard Robin was like, I haven't been there since I was 12.
I had never been.
Oh,
I had never been.
I've never
but I'm going to tell you something. It was
I did
great.
Sandy Point. But
okay, yeah. Ooh,
but
girl.
the sand, I know.
Yeah, girl, no.
Awful.
I did that too,
the sand, my feet were orange.
Because you're from Maryland, so
Maryland. So that's what you do. You go to these little Ocean City. You go to these known spots, local spots that you feel like you're doing something.
Right.
No, you're not.
No, you're not doing too much. But I mean, you're getting your life. As long as you're getting your life.
As long as you're getting your life. So was it fun? It's Delaware.
It was fun.
So, okay.
I mean, it was fun because we got to really interact with each other a lot. I got to really know Ashleigh, and I got to really know Katie. And I'm going to tell you, Katie is a great person and a great friend. And it's funny to see Giselle and Katie go back and forth.
So
sometimes I think Giselle enjoys a little mess. Yeah. And that's, do what you do. But, unfortunately, I'm like the voice of reason. I'm the protector of, the underdog.
Now, to me as a viewer, it comes off that Giselle is, I don't want to say jealous, but you kind of have maybe envious. But if you talk to her, she'd be like, I have no reason to be jealous of Katie. But the way it's portrayed, it seems like she has some jealousy there for Katie.
I don't know if it's jealousy or more judgmental. I mean, you know, I think that
it's a fine line there.
There's a very fine line. I just, whatever it is, I'm not going to let you mistreat somebody,
Yeah.
especially when I don't think they're, you know, now Katie's capable of handling
Yes.
it, but because I taught her how to
Yes.
handle that.
You taught her how to read.
Yes. I mean, and it didn't have to be all this and all that. It's just, look, get in, make your point, pull out.
Because now her facial expressions, you have to take Katie seriously. Like,
have
I was
to.
intimidated. Like,
she
oh
looked
my
at her
God.
like, no, and I'm finished, and I don't want to hear any more from you.
And I was like, wow, shut it down.
That's
like,
right.
all the way down.
So you have to be proud of her because, you know what? I think that at the end of the day, it was a release.
Yes. As much as we love Giselle and we love Katie, I just feel like it's oil and water.
It is. But, you know,
Giselle says,
anytime
no,
you
it
have
is.
a group of women together, there's going to be a couple of them who
It's
just
gonna
don't
be.
quite flow.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. It's Katie's different, though. She definitely acts like the white side that she said raised her and all that.
Right.
Like the making out at the party.
Right. She's just,
We
you know
don't
what
do
she
that.
is? She's a free spirit. She's a very free spirit. And you have to understand, she's an international model by training.
Okay.
And so she's been all over
Excuse me.
and experienced a lot of different cultures as she's evolved as a grown woman. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know, okay, well, we're grown. Let's go to Europe or let's go to... No, she was doing this as a young girl. And so she got to really see different experiences that obviously kind of cultivated
That is true.
that who is Katie.
Yes.
And so it's not a situation where she's trying to be white or black or whatever. I think she's just really a free spirit. And the foundation, I think, though, is just she's good. She's good, and she's good to her core, and she's really intelligent.
Yes, I see
Really
that from the show.
intelligent.
She's really intelligent. Like, I wish her well for the I know it's already has probably passed at this time, the event that she was trying to plan to raise the $100,000 for casino night. I hope it was nothing but the best. I hope we see some footage of that. I mean, she's such an intelligent person, and I'm like, you know, you people like that, you want to help, you want to give back, you want to be like, you need help, I can help you. I have sponsors.
Right.
You know, it's like you wanna just help.
Support.
Yeah.
You want to support. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when Giselle kind of threw shade, people are like, why? Have you done anything like this before? Because like she said, the Ross Foundation they've done stuff in the past. You know, they've done
big things.
Big
and
things.
They're doing good things. And that's another thing. I mean, the fact that she has a foundation honoring her father's legacy, and the fact that she's doing for others. It's not a foundation for Katie. This is a foundation to help other people. I don't want that lost on people. Like, that's the part. Like, because you're like, wait, do you understand? Like, she's trying to do something for other people. Yeah. She's trying to assist and help other people who can't necessarily assist and help themselves.
Right.
So that's big. Yeah. And you gotta give respect to that.
You do. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh man. So have you ever collaborated with her on an Alpha Kappa Alpha event? We know she is a soror.
Giselle?
Yes.
No, we actually haven't. We haven't done any, because what we actually were part of other organizations together, but in terms of the sorority, no, we haven't. We, you know, of course, acknowledge each other, and you know, there's always going to be that. But you know, I think that we've just been so busy doing a lot of other things.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm excited because I'm looking for that. I want to be like, yes, AKA yes, you know. So I'm looking for that. I know it's probably some legality behind that.
Well, you're not gonna see a lot of that on the show, simply because of the fact that what do you say? Because of some of the other shows before our show and the way sororities were portrayed.
Oh, very true.
Okay. They want to stay far, far away from anything sorority related. So we'll talk about it because we're proud of our organization. And we hope to represent our organization well. I mean, Robin is a Delta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all about...
That's right. She is a Delta.
So I mean, we are very proud of the choices that we've made. And we're very... And you know, we hope that we're doing our organizations well. But at the end of the day, we have to present not on behalf of the organization because we wouldn't want to put the organization or anyone in any kind of peril or put them in a situation where the organization as a whole is judged because of our individual actions. Yes. So we stay very independent of that on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I just feel like, you know, once editing comes to play, stuff has been cut out because you have to. So much. Because I'm like, man, there's so much that you want to see that I feel like I know this is what happened.
Right.
But you know.
Right.
But you have to condense it to, it's an hour show, but you cut it down to probably like, 40 minutes or so with the commercials and all that.
And you're taping for hours on hours. You tape from 8, like when we were at the beach, we taped from 8 o'clock in the morning to like 3 in the morning. Two.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, it was like full days. And we were going in and it was fun and it was whatever. But, you know, how do you condense?
Yes.
How do you condense days and days and days of beach footage into 2 episodes for 45 minutes
Oh
each?
my God. Bless the editing team's
They're
heart.
awesome.
Like that's a lot of work.
They're awesome.
I mean, they get paid top dollar for it, but
and still tell the story.
Yes.
How do you still keep the story going?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be true. Because people complain and say, oh, you know, editing, you know, people on TV have said, oh, you know, after editing, that's not what it is. That's not how it is. That's not what happened.
Right.
But we see that's what happened.
Absolutely.
But when you lay different frames on it, different scenes, you're like, that's not how it was supposed to be.
Right. It's not right. That wasn't the intention.
Yes.
That wasn't the sentiment. But I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
true.
it's interesting to see like, 48 hours of taping down to 2 45-minute shows.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And I'm, because I, you know, with the beach, I'm like, no one went surfing except you, like you said. But then with the way,
the way they didn't show me because, like, literally, if they showed me, it would have been a different kind of rating for a show.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, and I was devastated. And it was funny because the whole time I was like, no one's gonna show because even if they bleeped it out, it'd be like,
of course.
Yeah.
And then Robin did great.
She did well.
She looks good.
She looks great. And Robin, she looks great. Everybody really looks good.
Yeah.
Even, like Karen is like, you know, you said the most, you know, she's the grand dame.
I know.
But the body is giving
the
life.
body is giving all the way life. I said, okay.
Right.
And I want to be like, but how old are you now? Like, I feel like she's the grandmother.
Right.
Because she just has this, I don't know, she reminds me of those old sorors of ours. Those old Gamma Epsilon, no, Omega sorors. You're like, I'm scared of her.
Can I tell you, like, she's that woman. Because when I moved to Potomac, she was one of the first women I met. And it was so funny because I was just like, wow, is she real? Because she was so
like, is she real?
We came into her home and she was like, oh, welcome. And I mean, this was Karen. Welcome. Everyone's downstairs. Make yourself at home. I'm Karen Huger. This is my husband, Ray Huger. My daughter, Raven, is downstairs. And I was just like, okay, well, hi, I'm Brynee.
Yeah.
This is my crew.
Yeah.
We're happy to
This
be
is my
here.
posse.
This
We
is
here.
the crew. Where do we go? So that was an interesting experience. But Karen is super awesome, and she became a really good friend. So it's great to see all of these women having their glory. So
yes, because you started as Sharice's friend. Now you're like you're friends with all of them.
Well, I was friends actually with Karen first. I met Karen first.
But see, on the show, it looks like you were Sharice's friend.
Right. Well, you know, that's how the show had to go. I met Karen first, then I met Sharice, and this was like years ago.
Yeah,
years
definitely.
Years ago. And then I met Robin, then Giselle, and then I met Katie and Ashleigh during filming.
No, you said you met Katie first.
I met her first. Katie first, then Ashleigh. But both of them during taping, during recording.
And like you said, that was a smart way to have a successful show. Have people that know one another.
Right. Because it's just natural. You know, just like us. It's not like, okay, so are you in an organization? No, you know. We know. And it's so it's more like, so we can start here as opposed to starting here.
Yes.
And then also we know that we can communicate because we've done it before. And we like each other and it works as opposed to, so how's everything going? Good. You know,
you're like, pulling teeth. Alrighty.
Like, how much longer?
Yeah, and it's funny because like I'm gonna go to a one of our clips again because it shows like with DC it was so dry.
I feel sorry for them because they're
too.
and it's so. Let me tell you,
I love Stacey. She was nice.
Is so cool, and Erica too. And they're not dry women. They're super fun.
And
I don't know the other women.
Yeah, right. The Salahi girl.
No. Clearly, she wasn't dry. She was a whole lot of.
She was a whole lot. She should have had a like a Tamar event. She should have had her own episode with her and her husband sneaking into the White House.
Girl.
That took the cake for me.
Nice
I love when they have the kids on there. I swear.
Right.
But those bodies look amazing. I'm gonna have to plug in the doctor.
Absolutely.
Dr. Pickens. I know she is like an amazing doctor in cosmetic procedures in Alexandria. Okay. So I know a lot of these women have great bodies, but I feel like they need to just, we'll have the doctor come on. Because you know how of like on Atlanta Housewives, they have the doctor from Married to Medicine.
Right.
I can't think of her name.
I know who you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she does all their procedures and whatnot.
Right.
So I feel like I want to have Dr. Pickens come and do a consultation
Maybe
on
she
these.
could do a consultation.
Yeah.
I've never done anything, but I think
Really?
No, but I mean, I'm open.
No, her slogan, she's like, you keep upkeep on your car, your home. You have to have upkeep on your body.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I swear by her. I love her.
Awesome.
Dr. Pickens in Alexandria.
Go ahead, Dr. Pickens.
Hey.
Get it, girl.
That's why I look gorgeous. Okay, anyway.
Girl, no, you were gorgeous. You've been gorgeous for a long time, honey. I'm not going for that.
Okay, you're not going.
I mean, we can say she enhances.
Yes, there we go.
There we go.
So you said you were busy earlier. What is Brynee Baylor doing? What are you doing?
Oh, I am having fun on both sides of the camera. Right now, I have just recently started a production company with my boyfriend, and we are producing films here based in the District of Columbia, which is phenomenal because we're able to bring a lot of work to the District of Columbia and also some wonderful theatrical presentations that are going on cable networks, television networks. I'm also co-executive producing the Wanda Pratt story, the True MVP, that's going to be airing in on Mother's Day with Lifetime Networks.
Congratulations.
And also Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah and Shakim. So, it's interesting because I really love the role that I play because it kind of allows me to do what I do, what I love doing, and then also kind of be fun and have fun, but handle my business too because I've got a lot. I mean, this is a new career path for me. I love what I'm doing. I've been very blessed and fortunate to be able to do it. And, we're just having a good time. This is different
for you because you actually, you were doing law. When I met you, you were solely in law.
Yes.
Now you're in television and welcome to the media, the limelight world.
Well, it's interesting. God has a way of having things happen, good, bad, or otherwise. And I look at them all as learning experiences, blessings and lessons, and really, moving on to the next step in life, the next course in life. And it's a lot of fun. It's fun. It's not the stress. It's not the strain that the law was. It's a lot of fun. I mean, listen, the law is wonderful and there are wonderful people doing wonderful things. But I truly enjoy this space that I'm in right now.
I mean,
I do.
Television, it's so, because it's different day to day, but I don't have the luxury of saying that I worked with Queen Latifah. How was working with Flavor Unit?
Well, it's been awesome to have an idea, a concept, and then having it come to formation. I think, identifying a writer, and then having the producers kind of put that piece together, and then the set and the actors and everything. It's just it's been amazing. It's been wonderful and amazing, and it's a story about a wonderful, wonderful woman who actually I manage.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
But Wanda Pratt, that's Kevin Durant's mother.
Yes,
and she's
Kevin Durant, right from Sea Pleasant,
that's
PG County.
PG County in the house yet again. But it's so awesome because to be able to hear from such a dynamic woman and see her story and understand that everything doesn't come up roses all the time. And though all of us on the show, seem to have this interesting life. I mean, life is not always that bowl of cherries, and there's a lot of ups and downs, but you just have to stay in it. You have to stay persistent and really move forward.
Yeah. Well, how did you make that connection with Flavor Unit?
Well, it's interesting. When I was representing Wanda, we identified a marketing agent for her, and she really wanted to tell her story. And so we initially thought we would be doing a book deal, but the agent came and presented to us the opportunity. Her name is Gina Ford, and she's become one of my partners too.
Fabulous.
She actually is the wife of Tommy Ford from Martin.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Wow, that's funny. Oh
yeah, life is funny.
Isn't it?
Life is funny. But and I met her through a very dear friend here, and who actually, it's funny, Dan Wilkinson's ex-wife, Shonda Wilkinson from the Washington Redskins. So I mean, it's all very small.
It's all very similar.
But the world is small. But basically, what we determined was that she wanted to tell her story, and this was an awesome way to do it. And people after that MVP speech where Kevin said, you mom, you're the real MVP, and he was so heartfelt and so beautiful. People want to know who this woman is and how she raised these wonderful young men, not just Kevin Durant, but Anthony Durant. And,
that's right. I forgot.
His big brother, who was his manager for a while, too. So it's just, it's an awesome situation. And I was just so happy to be a part of a story that really deserves to be told, of a dynamic single mother who is killing the game and has a lot to offer.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm so excited.
It is exciting. And I have to tell you, I have another client I just picked up, so I'm going to be announcing it soon. But I'm telling you first. Okay. Her name is Wendy Washington. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's a dynamic actress and personality. She has a show, Wendy World Daily. Okay. And she does lifestyle. And it's kind of cool because it coincides with Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Not just, not just about, what's going on in the world, but like how we live, how
day to day.
Live, what's how does a mover shake?
Yes, yes, right. Yes. I love it. That's amazing. You are doing phenomenal things. I am so excited for your Wanda Pratt story. What's the title going to be, or what is it?
The True MVP, the Wanda Pratt story.
I love it.
That's our working title. We haven't confirmed that, but I believe that, we've done the press releases and what have you, but it's definitely something in that genre.
So when we start seeing commercials and promo for the movie.
Well, we're actually going to be talking about the rollout for press, and that's funny being on the other side.
Yes, you see?
In the next couple of days. So we'll be seeing them very soon because it's going to happen in May for Mother's Day.
Wow.
So you have to stay tuned.
So any recognizable faces in the film?
Actually, there are a few, and it's funny because right now the name escapes me, but Denzel Washington.
Really?
No, his wife is playing Wanda Pratt's mother.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Juanita. That's Michael Jordan. What's his name? She was just on the Oscars. What's her name?
Dynamic.
Yes.
I'm
short hair.
Right.
Boobs, gray body. Oh,
everything.
Okay, but I know who you're talking about. I cannot think of her name. It's going to come to me in a second. But
you'll see a lot of recognizable faces. This is Lifetime really got behind this movie and really supports the movie. And supported the project. And so it's been awesome because we've really been able to really put something special together. And there's a whole lot of love in the DMV.
God. I'm excited.
Right.
I'm so excited. Right. So when you have that big red carpet premiere, you have to let me know.
Girl, yes. You come to LA because I'm sure it's going to
I will be in LA.
Girl,
I will. I'm so proud of you. So therefore, when the film ends and the credits roll, I will see Brynee Baylor.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Co-executive producer.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So if people want to reach out to you and connect with you, how can they do that?
Yes, please do. I love to hear from people. I love it. On Instagram, it's Brynee Baylor. Actually, the easiest way is my website, BryneeBaylor.com. BRYNEE Baylor.com. BAYLOR.com. Did I do that right?
And it's on the bottom of the screen.
And it's on the bottom of the screen.
Yay!
There it is. Hey.
I love it.
BryneeBaylor.com. Because there you can find all my social media. I'm even on Pinterest.
Yes. I love it.
So, check me out. And then also I do a blog on the website, so you'll be able to really get my perspective on the story. Because it's funny, when you're not one of the housewives, but you're the friend, you get a whole lot of
Yes, that's why I said I had to have you here. I'm
Thank you.
You know what, I need another angle.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about who holds the peach or who holds the cherry blossom. It's the other people, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give the other people some shine.
Hey.
I love it. But I want to thank you so much for joining me today.
It's been my pleasure.
I had an amazing time catching up with you.
Absolutely. We have to do it again.
Yes, because it turned into all the housewives and I had a one-on-one.
Right.
So I'm so grateful that you came.
Well, I'm grateful for you having me. Thank you.
So we got to do drinks soon, offline.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, pink and green drinks, pink and green lunch.
Yes,
I'm excited.
All of it.
Oh my God.
Ditto.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Ashleigh Demi, Lunchbox Live here on Listen Vision Radio, 12 to 2 every Wednesday. Check me out. Thanks so much.
Bye.